Next speaker Dr. Kishimoto from Jiro Global Innovation Centers. He is currently a head of regenerative medicine section at Jiro, and today his talk is Autologous cell-based therapy for hair loss using dermal cells. Dr. Kishimoto.
Thank you very much, Dr. Niyama, for kind introduction, and thank you for everyone coming to this virtual seminar. I'm sure you enjoyed Dr. Higgins' excellent talk about the dermal papilla on the hair activity. Today, following my talk, I would like to show a brief introduction about another hair cell, showing the activity, dermal cyst capsule, and also would like to introduce the clinical study for cell therapy for hair ongoing using capsule. So there are various approaches to attempt the cell or tissue-based therapy for hair loss. Among them, we use method for cell injection, expecting to rejuvenate the pre-existing follicle and promote hair growth, as explained in Dr. Higgins' previous talk. The reason for this is it is easily to control affecting the existing follicular neogenesis, and also to reduce the risk for avoiding the tumorigenesis compared with the neogenesis. So the dermal cyst capsule, as I located in the bottom of the follicle beneath the dermal papilla, we choose the dermal cyst capsule rather than dermal papilla cell because previous attempt to use the dermal papilla cell for cell therapy by the company failed to show the enough efficacy and have terminated their clinical study in the middle. And Dr. Macri reported higher hair inductive property of dermal cyst capsule compared with dermal papilla cell, and also the upper dermal cyst cell, which have no hair inductivity. So please come to see the previous session after this seminar related to talk about the 3D structure, ultrastructure analysis of dermal papilla and dermal cyst capsule by Haru Yamamishi, my colleague. And also in a human, that the previous slide is mice, but also in a human, Korean Ford and Reynolds reported in 1999 in the Nature, transplanted human dermal cyst capsule onto the arm skin, showed complete human hair regeneration, and is much better result if we use the dermal papilla cell. And moreover, the Lamani and Dr. Banansky, we have just had an excellent keynote lecture from Dr. Banansky yesterday, recently reported that the dermal cyst cell can migrate down into the bulb region during the hair cycle and differentiate the dermal cyst, and even in some part going to differentiate the dermal papilla cell. So we hypothesis the injected dermal cyst capsule also migrate into the dermal cyst and dermal cyst capsule area, and both functioning the releasing the trophic factor and themselves differentiated into the dermal papilla cell. This can increase the number of dermal papilla cells and resulting elongate the hair's promotion and number of promoting the bigger hair follicle. So in vivo experimental model system, we have already obtained some evidence showing the GMP level dermal or human dermal cyst cell can migrate into the follicle and move to the surrounding hair band. Then we also compound injected dermolysis capsule integrate even in the non-papillary cell region. With this proof of concept, we decided to proceed the clinical study research in Japan. So please come to see the also related paper poster and intact dermolysis capsule profiling by Dr. Jiro. So this is showing our collaboration for the clinical study. Dr. Macri and Dr. Hoffman, who showed the dermolysis capsule in the mouse, also done the first in-human study in Europe with the dermolysis capsule, both for men and women, and showed no serious adverse event, and also showed some tendency, the potential to the efficacy as well. Following these safety data, Professor Tsuboi at Tokyo Medical University and Associate Professor Dr. Shiro Niyama at Tokyo University Ohashi Hospital, together with our Shiseido team, decided to autologous cell-based therapy with this capsule. Fortunately, to accelerate the cell therapy in Japan with government enthusiasm, new law for the cell therapy, namely the Act on the Safety of Regenerative Medicine, was enacted in 2014. The law highlighted two unique features, one for the safety and one for the accelerating the industrialization. Under this new regulation, for safety aspect, all hospital and clinic have to submit their provisional plan and need approved by a specialized certified committee for regenerative medicine. And for the accelerated industrialization, hospital and clinic are able to outsourcing of cell culture and cell tissue processing into the private specialized company or the CPC facility, so that the hospital is free from the tedious work for the preparation of the cell culture. And she said the law for this CPC activity. And importantly, the such CPC facility is subject for inspection and required to obtain a license by the government, PMDA, this is the Japanese version of the FDA. And under this new regulation, the framework has been set based on the risk level of the cell we use. Now they are categorized as 3 levels based on the risk from the first grade to the 3rd grade. And the first grade, the most risky cell type, including iPS and ES cell, and the least risk, the safest grade, the 3rd grade, is the somatic cell and autologous cell. And based on this risk level of the cell, each category has a different combination of the necessity of the approval of the provisional plan and the grade of the committee. And importantly, all risk category needs the same high level of the CPC facility to prepare the cell for the whole cell therapy. And our autologous cell therapy for hair loss with dermolysis capsule was now categorized in the 2nd grade in Japanese regulation. So, here is a general view of clinical research study in Japan under this new law. After informed consent by Dr. biopsy, the small piece is 6 millimeters of scalp tissue, including hair follicle, and for the patient, and sent to the CPC facility by specialized delivery company. And they received the specimen dissected this special dermolysis capsule region, and culture for the expansion and the quality control of the facility. And send them back to the hospital to inject into their hair area using this specialized injected device, which can exactly the same depth of the cell to make sure that the cell was injected near the hair follicle, using hair follicle. And then chase efficacy and safety evaluation into the hospital. And for CPC facility, she said established it in a Kobe biomedical area, which I introduced later. Here is the clinical research study protocol. As Professor Tsuboy and Dr. Niyama, Professor Tsuboy and principal investigator, this study was objective to evaluate the efficacy and safety of injection of the ES capsule with autologous patient. And the culture 3 months, and efficacy monitored during the 1 year, and following the safety of the patient another 2 years. And 66 men and women with male and female bonus abdomen. And this is a double-blind placebo control with 3 different concentrations, low and medium, high concentration of this capsule. And effective evaluation was calculated based on the cumulative hair thickness and hair density, together with the safety evaluation, the adverse event, and the laboratory assessment and independent assessment of the scar images. So to complete the analysis of the all 66 subjects will take 2 years or so. So, I've explained previous slide, to provide expanded culture cell, we established this CPC facility at biomedical area in Kobe. Kobe is close to the Kyoto here, 1 hour travel train, and in this island near the Kobe station called Port Island, there is a huge center of the cell therapy activity, including famous LICAN CDB, Center for Development Biology. But we are neighbor to this facility, and this is the place, the first human trial for the iPS-derived cell therapy for age-related macular degeneration by Professor Masayo Takahashi. And our CPC facility is neighbor to Harvard CPC facility, so we are very proud of this. And our CPC facility named Shiseido Cell Processing and Expansion Center called the SPEC. And this SPEC is approved by the Welfare Ministry and obtained a license as an outsourcing facility, as I explained. So far, by July this year, we have cultured already 21 subjects and stably cultured average 6 million cells, which is enough for the injected as clinical study. The expanding cell also have high living rate, and also the alkali phosphatase, strong alkali phosphatase activity to indicating the keeping the potential for the hair activity of the amorphous capsule. So using gene profiling analysis by microarray, we also confirm the cultured dermal system, passage 2 to passage 4, showed stable during the cell culture passages, without sign of stemness and also the oncogenicity. Because this marker, typical marker for the stem cell and oncogenesis was keep low during the culture compared to the positive control. So we will continue to run CPC facility properly to stably provide the culture cell enough quality and appropriate quality control. So please come to see the another data poster by Dr. Yumiko Kishimoto, showing the cultural dermosis profile. So we have two posters, one is intact dermosis capsule, the other one for the cultural dermosis capsule profile. So for the summary, with dermosis and the dermosis capsule have hair inductive property that migrate into the dermosis cell or dermopapillary region and differentiate into the dermopapillary cell. The new registration law for the immunity medicine, the Act of the Safety for the Immunity Medicine, has been enacted in 2014 in Japan to ensure the safety of surgery and also accelerating the industrialization to enable the outsourcing of the cell culture processing to the specific facility. Under new law, critical research study on cell-based therapy for hair loss using dermosis capsule has started last year and is now currently ongoing. So, I thank the collaborator for the Tokyo Medical University, leading Professor Boy and Dr. Yokichi Sawa and Kazutoshi Harada and other many members at the dermatology department, and also the Tokyo University Office Medical Center, Dr. Shiro Miyama group at the dermatology department. And we also acknowledge, thanks to the Professor Shin Kawamata at Kobe FBRI Allergy Center for Cell Therapy, for his professional, very nice advice for running CBC facility. And also the Dr. Kerry Mackley and Dr. Hoffman to ensure the introduction of the dermosis capsule transfer. Thank you for your attention.
Is there any questions or comments?
Hello. My name is Taisuke Ito from Hanamoto University. How about the balance of integration and integration after injections of the new DFS, DSFC? The AGA shows the imbalance of integration and integration of the fibroblast. After the injections, new DSS dermosis capsule stay longer than the original AGA situations.
Right. The picture I show is a model system using the human constitution on the new mice, and of course the clinical study is ongoing right now, so we cannot biopsy from the patient. So it depends answer your question. Yeah. We hope the cell can be migrated to the dermopapillary region, to the right dermopapillary, and stay for at least several months.
And how about the expression of the androgen receptor? Even you take from the healthy tissues, if you after the injections of the area, the dermocapsule cell express the androgen receptor or not?
Also, I didn't check the expression of the androgen receptor, but it's a very good question.
Thank you.
Hi, Jiro.
Yes.
I can see your efforts in this project. So you culture the cup cells, and so how many cells you inject for how large is the area?
Yes, it's actually because this is the first trial of the clinical study. So for the safety reason, we just a few centimeters of the tongue area for each concentration, like 1 million and 0.5 million, and with the placebo. Yeah.
So you use an intradermal injection?
Yeah, I did injection, but we use the specific device to make sure that every time the depth is always the same depth to pick up the area from the all hair cycles, the follicle will be distant. So not too deep, but not too shallow. Yes.
Hi. I wanted to follow up on the androgen receptor in the sheet. These were occipital follicles. What sort of scalp follicles were you using? Occipital?
Scalp follicle, yeah.
Yeah, from this.
From back, yes.
From the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we previously had looked at receptors in dermal sheath cells from, I think it was beard and occipital scalp, and there were quite high levels in the beard ones, but lower in occipital. The same as in human dermapilla cells, because even human dermapilla cells from occipital have some levels of actin receptors.
Okay, thank you very much.
Last question, please.
Hi, you tested gene expression and profiling of the cells after the ex vivo expansion. So have you tested their hair reduction ability for each passages?
The question is whether we do the hair reductive assay for the. Could you explain?
For different passages.
Yes.
Cells.
Yes. We use because we don't use so many passages to cell because we know even in the dermal cyst the cup cell can lose if there are too many passages. But the few passages I'm convinced that they still have property. But for the human subject, it's now doing the ongoing clinical trial to see how many people will respond and how many not.
Next is the last question.
Okay, yeah, I think we still have a second. I had a similar question about dose and cell spread. So when you squirt the cells in with an injection, do you know how far they migrate? Did you do any preclinical studies to look?
This one system, that's a good question, but it's not accurately, mentioned. But after a few days, I think it's already go into the follicular area, and it remains some of the infected cell, but not spread out very close to the follicular area.
Thank you, Dr. Kishimoto. We are closing this is not just thank you for